Okay, so the weekend will be rounded off with the racing from the Ferris to Cape. The feature season is over, but it is a nine-race competitive race card that awaits us as we go to the Western Cape. And of course, you can get in touch, give us your feedback after the running of the 10-race program at Turpentine, which featured the two classics as well as the horse chestnut, and give us your thoughts. Was it the results you expected? Were our tipsters on the mark? Or do we now look forward to the crowning of a new Triple Tiara or Triple Crown champion? That is, of course, the Give Me Another and Sandringham Summit winning the second legs of the Triple Tiara and a Triple Crown. Right, let's get straight into what could be a get out of its stakes if things have gone our way on Saturday. And that is the bar pot coming through from the Western Cape. We've got Mr. Daryl Marie with us, and we'll be also discussing Mr. Burrows' selections. Daryl and myself will be looking at his selections. Right, let's get straight into that bar pot. And Daryl, we're looking forward to a bumper round off to the season. To the weekend, rather. No features as such in the Western Cape, but I think these are bread and butter meetings, especially for fundis like yourselves, would be a nice way to recover if things haven't gone well the day before.
Yeah, Cecil, all I can say with this meeting is go wide for a longer ride. Take a percentage and hope you survive and have an interest throughout the day, because to punt on this card is going to be very tricky. I think I have found some value.
Yes.
I found a roughie, so we'll discuss that a bit later. But the opening leg of the bar pot, I originally had 3 runners, but it was too costly and I narrowed it down. I took my chances in the opening leg. Well, I am taking my chances. I'm bankering number 4, Cecil. Now, if you have a look at his form lines aren't great and overly exciting. The same can be said about number 2, Lightning Glow. But I love what I see from the son of Futura. You know, he obviously needed his first run back as a gelding. And last time out, I love the manner in which he got the job done. It was workmanlike, and I think there's so much more to come from Fly Futura. He's got fitness on his side. So I've bankered him. I've got respect for number 2, Lightning Glow. Also, the form line hasn't really stood up yet, but he's one from one as a gelding, and he's unexposed of the trip. So I think he could be a danger. And then is it Lusa Verde, number 3. He's having his peak run. He's been staying on, trying the extra 2. So if you want to back Fly Futura up in the opening leg of the bar pot, I'd suggest putting number 3 in, Luso Verde. But like I say, I expect more from Fly Futura. I think he's going to win his races as a handicapper.
Right, so there it is. The bank of the 4 in the first leg, that is Aldo de Meyer for Candice Bass Robinson. And of course, the ownership, Dragonstein Stud, and quite a few owners involved in the ownership of a one-time winner from just the 5 outings. That's an off time to race 2 of 10 minutes to 1 over the 1800 meters of Cape Sea Stakes. Right, this up next is the start of the PA. Cape Racing rather, sales are made and played is a race number 3. So fillies and mares are going over the mile. And so far, we've got a scratching come through in the form of the 7 Silver Flare. But it is looking quite a trappy start to the PA, because you've got the 3 runners that are currently quoted at joint favoritism. They are the 3 Saint Brigitte, the 8 Green Isle, and the 9 Plum Pudding, all at 33 to 10. And then there's 4 to 1 about the 10 Hampstead Heath, that is, Mr. Marcus, Adam Marcus, and Bernard Fader Herb. Right, so the 7 is out of race number 3, wasn't part of the selections from Mr. Brendan Gaylord. How do you go about negotiating that first leg of the PA?
We've got 5 horses.
No?
It's a costly PA, Cecil.
Right, sir.
I hope we can treble up in the opening leg. You know, if you have a look at, what did you say, Saint Brigitte?
Yeah, Saint Brigitte.
Brigitte.
Yeah.
She improved last time out. It was a nice run. It was in an open maiden, wasn't a strong field whatsoever. In her penultimate start, you can see she's actually held by Devilishly Gorgeous on the Flamboyant Flyer run. So she comes into the play. And then there's so much other Kawakazi form line that you have to respect Plum Pudding and Hampstead Heath. So I've gone with 5 runners. I think this is very, very competitive. From what I saw, Hampstead Heath was finishing best and has a possibility of reversing the form with those who finished ahead of her. But what I can say, Cecil, is MJ Woodendaal interviewed Aldo when he got off plum pudding last time out.
Vaderveld.
Yes, MJ Bielefeld, sorry. He interviewed Aldo, and Aldo said, watch this filly when she goes over ground, she'll win her races. So I've gone wide of Yasis. I'll make it very competitive.
Right, so that wideness or the width of that first leg is 1, 3, 8, 9, and 10. And if that doesn't work out, then it is been just one of those weekends for you. 480 Rand is the outlay, 13.25 is off time for race 3. Well, looking at the betting early show for this Sunday meeting, it was at times thinking that I'm actually looking at a wrong website or looking at the wrong prices, but all open, very open races. We had 33 to 10 three-way joint favoritism in race 3. In the first leg of the pick 6, we've got a 4 to 1 favorite, and that's the 11 Go It Alone in the board's colors in partnership with Miss Gina Goldsmith, and that is at 4 to 1. And then beyond that, we're looking at 9 to 2 about the 6 of 4 Jacks, and then the 8 at Tsunami Warning is at 6 to 1 at 7s and a better about those. Miss Marie, race number 4, no exception to the rule. It is going to be a competitive afternoon. The only thing that will be there is make it really very testing is if there was a mud bath on Sunday.
Yeah, or if they come to the outside and they get balked on that running roll and cramped, and it all just gets messy. Cecil, it's an open maiden, right? I think we found some value over here for the viewers. I actually thought I found value in Turconnell at 4 to 1. He did start even money and he's still running. Let's hope this isn't the case.
I was actually warned about the hanging, the habit to hang before the race.
Yeah, he's got his issues there
Yes.
also. Cecil, please give me the price on number 5. Pleased to see you.
Pleased to see you, and we will be very pleased to see you if it stays this price at 33 to 1.
I can guarantee you he's not going to stay 33 to 1. That I can. He'll shorten drastically. Now, Cecil, let me make my case for him.
Please do, because at the moment the form doesn't seem as much.
Now, he's a son of Master of My Fate.
Yes.
Out of a Fort Wood dam. Okay. He is bred for the ground.
Yes.
He's in a maiden handicap and he's carrying 54.5 against horses that seem very limited themselves.
Yes.
Like, I mean, 4 Jacks, I think he's the current price anti-post favorite.
No, he's second favorite now. 9 to 2. The current favorite is the 11 Go It Alone, 4 to 1.
Okay, so let's have a look at Go It Alone. Go It Alone's form is average in my mind. I mean, he's had 5 starts to date for 1 second and a fourth, and he's got a tricky draw to contend with. He's carrying 59 kilograms. Listen, he's got a winning chance, but I think I found the value in Pleased to See You. He's gonna love the extra. Now, I watched his second run after rest. He had excuses. He was staying on and then he got balked. Have a look at his return after rest and a gelding. He had excuses. So he's been very unlucky in those 2 starts to date. If he appreciates the extra, which I believe he will, we are going to see marked improvement. And I'm going to say have a bet at 33 to 1 and 5 to 1 a place. You are getting the value. Don't shoot me down in flames if he doesn't feature. But I think we got the value in this race. Let's hope he runs a cracker.
As I've said to you before, it is all about thinking out of the box. It's easy to just go with the bookmakers' pricings, etc. They want to hear from you as to the left-handed type of selections. We've got the pick 6 from Mr. Burrows, 2,700 Rand, and guess what he's banking in leg 3? This is a man who wears his heart on his sleeve.
Kelp
His
Forest.
own horse, Kelp Forest, who
and
looks to make
he's-
it a second win from 4 starts.
And I see he's left out my horse in the opening leg. So please add number 5. Pleased to see you.
All right, there we go. Add the 5 in the first leg. You can go with the banker. That is Darren's selection in leg number 3. The off time to race number 4 is at 2 o'clock. Okay, so race number 5 is the start of the jackpot segment of a 9-race program at Kenilworth. That is Hollywood Bets at Kenilworth. Race number 5 is a racing syndicate. Cape B Stakes is over the 1,800 meters, and we've got a very weak favorite in the form of number 5, Supreme Dream, that is currently at 4-1, having been shortened in from 9-2, and the one prevalence that is still at 9-2, 5-1 numbers 2, Gentleman Joe, and the 6th Timer for Love. Right, we are going to be looking at a jackpot courtesy of Mr. Burrows, but we need to get some input from Mr. Marie. Again, another open-looking race.
It is open-looking, Cecil, but if you have a look at the weights and the way this race has been structured, with the fairer 6 coming into this race, they're extremely well weighted. Time for Love is best in, half a kilogram ahead of Supreme Dream, and then they're about 3 or 4 kilograms clear of the Colts and Goldings. Now, Cecil, I think Mr. Crawford has really placed this filly Supreme Dream extremely well. Now, in her penultimate start, when she won a similar race to this, in that she was slung in at the weights. And on that occasion, she actually beat Prevalence, and they meet each other at the same weight terms. So it's hard to see Prevalence reverse the form with Supreme Dream, but Prevalence now gets a draw. And take note, there's an equipment change. He is fitted with a set of blinkers this time around. So I actually think he's got a chance of reversing the form with Supreme Dream. I just want to touch on one other thing, Cecil. Now, this season, Mr. Crawford and Richard Free have teamed up 19 times. They visited the winner's enclosure on 8 occasions out of those 19 runners. 8 times and 4 seconds. So when they team up, they mean business. I mean, a lot of those times that Richard's been riding for that Mauritius owner.
Yes.
But anyway, she's waited to go well. I think it's a great race for her to notch up another victory. I think Prevalence is her biggest danger though.
Right, so just to, I think, also to allay the conspiracy theorists, Louis is riding for Justin in this race because Louis will ride 55 and Richard can actually ride 54. So I think that is pretty plain to see that. I think that is the reason why they've got the stable jocks with the Crawford stable riding a high weighted horse, and that's the 4-night ruler. Off time to race 5 is 14 at 35, and again Mr. Burrows Bank is his horse in the second leg, and that is number 9, Kelp Forest. Okay, so we get to race number 6. This will be the last chance to get involved in a local jackpot for the weekend. It is race 6. This is a race Cape powered by Hollywood Bets Cape C Stakes. It's over the 1,400 meters, and one of the shorter price favorites on the afternoon is Mr. Burrows' Kelp Forest. Has actually been shortened in from 22-10 into 2-1. 33-10, the 2 Master of Paris. The 1 Champagne Mac is at 9-2, as is the 5 Kibona Lasedi, also at 9-2. A winner last time out, an eye-catching winner, 6-1, and a better bar those. You would have seen the race, Mr. Marie. I didn't, because I was in transit from here. We had actually discussed the racing at Kenilworth on that occasion. But I'm looking at the finish, 21.9 for the last 400 to finish. Must have been eye-catching.
Yeah, he switched it on nicely on that occasion. If you like his chances, you have to have respect for number 2 of Cecil, Master of Paris. Very little separating the two of them. And also there's not much separating Master of Paris and Kelp Forest. A few runs back behind Mr. Frosty, but that was up the straight. You know, Cecil, if you watch racing, you have to say that Darren Burrows' horse, which he's tipped over here, as a suggested win bet, I think. Kelp Forest was very unlucky in his later start. He just had nowhere to go up the inside. He certainly should have finished a bit closer. I don't know if he would have won. Another horse that was unfortunate in that race was the runner-up, Fibonacci, I think. So what's key with Kelp Forest is if he settles in running, he's got a nice turn of foot and he could run them down. Aldo, I think, has ridden this horse once and won on him before. So I'll give him a shot. Darren Burrows likes his chances. I know Champagne Mac is held on paper, but I think from Stallgate 1, he can come out a bit softer. Last time out, he was overdoing it up front. So I think he's got a chance of getting closer to Kelp Forest, if not reversing it. But you can make a case for quite a few runners over here. The best weighted happens to be Lunga Gila's Ila de Mauricia. Now, Cecil, I must just say something over here. Besides St. John Grey, I think Lunga Gila is now the trainer, the second probably that has the highest number of horses that he owns in his yard, in his stable. Have you seen how many runners Lunga Gila has recently that he owns?
I actually, no, as I say, I have often missed Western Cape racing for one reason or another due to commitments, but I know that he's certainly got a lot of support from Hollywood, and you say in his own capacity, he's owned quite a few.
He owns quite a few now, so let's wish him the best.
We do wish him the best.
I hope he can break the ice in the near future, if not on Saturday, on Sunday, because I think he's working hard and he's got a lot of people behind him. So let's hope he can get the ball rolling in the Western Cape.
He's got a lot of well wishes indeed. Now, Kelp Forest, there it is. Mr. Marie does agree with Mr. Burrows. The 9 Kelp Forest is a good suggestion for a win bet, and that is in race number 6, the start of Jackpot 2. Right, we're going to speed on to race 7 shortly, and that's where we have our pick 3 coming through. All right, so we get to the last chance to be part of a pick 3 at Hollywood Bets Kenilworth on a Sunday. That's with the running of race number 7. Now, the 7th has got number 2, Hangout. The Stars at 5 to 2, 33 to 10 is the 6 Among the Clouds. The 4, F8, is at 6 to 1, 13 to 2, and Better Bar those Poeted Runners. Now, the first thing I put to you, and this is a reverence to our selectors in computer form, our regular selectors. In this case, it is Bernard Gaylord. And his best bet is the second favorite, and that's number 6, Among the Clouds. I was actually trying to work it out. I know Rainbow, Laurie Keat, won a good race on Derby Day. That's just a week ago. And perhaps that is his own, but I couldn't really sort of make another case for it. But I have, as I said, I've been missing out on a lot of Cape racing, so maybe you could actually expand on that.
Cecil, I do give her a winning chance. I mean, like you touched on, that form line has been franked. She likes to be given a chance as filly, and she is carrying a hefty mass. I mean, she's carrying 62, so to give horses weight and starts is never easy. But we've seen this filly show flashes of ability, and when she does get it right and she turns it on, she can turn it on in a smart fashion. This is the right sort of division for her to get her confidence up. So she does form part of my play over here. F8. Now, what's interesting is Richard's been riding this filly in her recent starts, and he got it right on her last time out, and he's jumped ship, and he's opted to take his chances on number 2, Hang Out the Stars. And by now, we'll know if that form line's being franked with Kabona Lesedi or Master of Paris franking that form. So you have to respect Richard for his judgment. So she's a natural inclusion over here. So I think the race should be dominated between numbers 2, 4, and 6. But racing on Sunday, Cecil, is tricky. So I'll just be happy to survive any exotic that we're going forward in.
Right. This could be the one that if things have gone south preceding race number 7, this is the get out of it stakes. 2, 4, 6 by 6, 8, and 10 by 3, 4, 7, and 8, and that's an outlay of 36 Rand. It is Delbury's pick 3, starting at 15:45 is race number 7, a class 5, and that's over the 1400 meters. Okay, so now we've discussed the last pick 3. We're going to discuss race number 8, which will be a last chance to get involved in a double at Hollywood Bets Kenilworth. But we're going to be talking and taking the swinger route. And here is the guide to that betting for Sunday's penultimate event. That is number 6, the Abdicator, is at 28 to 10. Eased out from 22 to 10. 4 to 1 is the 10, King of the Gauls. 13, Blue Holly, 11 to 2. Drifter is the 5, Nordic Chief, out to 15 to 2 from 7s, and is now bracketed with the 4, Escarpment, at 15 to 2. Right, Daryl, as we look at that penultimate event, the 6th, the Abdicator, a 3-year-old son of No Nay Never, is the favorite.
Cecil, I think the gelding's done him the world of good in his juvenile career. I don't think his mind was quite on the job. I mean, he's always had a reputation about him, but I think his temperament seemed to be getting the better of him. Last time out, it was a cracking win. I mean, from the jump, he was out like a scolded cat. And he drifted to the inside and he managed to hold on and beat a horse called Future Variety. Now we all know what Future Variety did in his next start. I mean, he was locking horns with Thunderstruck.
Thunderstruck, and it looked like he was possibly going to win it.
Going to go on by.
Yes.
So that form line has certainly held up. He's very quick. I think 1,000 meters is more in his favor than his biggest danger, King of the Gauls. Now I have no doubt the King of the Gauls will run a much improved race coming back in trip. I think that's ultimately at this stage of his career what he's going to be more effective over. But the 1,000 meters is a concern. I'd be certainly been in his camp if it was a 1,200, but over 1,000 meters I have to favor the Abdicator. If you are playing trifectas and quartets, certainly include number 8, Tough Terrain. Now he's gone close to the Abdicator in the past. He likes to be given a chance. If they go very quick, which they are going to be doing, he's going to be staying on best overall. So I think the race will be fought out between numbers 6, 8, and 10.
But the swinger is what we're going to confirm, and that is for race number 8, and that is numbers the 6, the Abdicator, and the 10. They say lump on to that swinger. That is the Abdicator, looking for win number 4 from just the 10 outings. And the King of the Gauls in the Bloomberg Silks with Mrs. Mary Liney. They've done well of late as a team. Trainer Riverment, owners Bloomberg and Liney, and that is King of the Gauls looking for win number 3 from 7 outings. That is race number 8, our penultimate, and that gets underway at 4:20.